Today, I'm going to show you how to use Claude to create your own professional logo and brand kit. Is an example of a series of Amazon logos that I was able to fully generate. Here are some concepts for Discord that I was once again able to fully generate. Here are some more concepts for Oracle. Here are some more examples for Tesla. We're getting 6 different concepts and each one are all very different. And here are some logo concepts that I once again fully generated for Spotify. And then I was able to pick a logo concept that I liked, like this Spotify logo at the bottom. And I was able to get Claude to turn this into a complete multi-page brand kit PDF. So we can see the logo right here. And as I scroll through this page, we're going to see a lot of elements related to the design of this particular logo. And this brand kit is obviously running us through all the different ways in which that we can use this logo for different reasons. It's been able to modify and move the logo around for different color options and moving it in different angles. You can see it's done quite a bit of work on how not to use the logo as well. Being able to modify that logo, it's generated quite well. And of course, providing us with everything that we need to understand the brand kit that it has generated, all very relevant to the logo we've created as well. Even creating some app icons at the bottom here as well. And even tying this into the application itself, obviously Spotify being for music playing, adding this element at the bottom here as well. And not only are we going to be able to get the logo and brand kit through PDF files, but we're also going to be able to take that logo that's been generated and turn that into an SVG file in which we're going to be able to modify, move around on a canvas like this, which means we're going to get the absolute best quality logo out of this. If I zoom in on this tool I'm using at the moment, you'll see that there are absolutely no pixels on this logo whatsoever. And that is because we have this vector file. And so we can use this for literally any application. And that just means that we can take this logo and rescale it however we want. And it's going to be able to work no matter what we're going to be using it for. So for this video, I'm just going to go through my entire process on how I was able to generate all of those logo concepts, turn that into a brand kit, and turn that into an editable SVG file in which I can modify and edit and use however I'd like. Okay, so getting started, we are of course going to be using Claude as the main thought process and sort of creation engine, controlling everything that we're going to be building. If you have yet to see any of my previous Claude or Claude Code videos before, I probably would recommend watching a couple of those before we dive into this. What you're looking at the moment is my Claude Code setup connected into Visual Studio Code at the moment. And on the left-hand side, you can see a bunch of files and folders of a bunch of context about me and my business. Now, you don't need a super setup in order to do this. You can do this as a complete fresh start and just getting Claude Code connected into Visual Studio Code and you'll be good to go. But one of the benefits of having one of these systems set up is that your Claude agent can have a bunch of context about you or maybe your business, and it might just help to make your logo or your brand kit that much more tailored to exactly what you do because it has more context about that. Anyways, I won't dive too deep into the AI operating system space. Ultimately, what you need to do is just download Visual Studio Code and connect the Claude Code extension to it. And don't worry, you don't have to be technical at all to do any of that. And if you ever have any technical questions when using it, you can actually just ask the Claude AI model itself, what's going on? What do I need to change? It's going to be able to tell you everything. Now, just quickly on the right-hand side, I got Claude to create a mermaid diagram, just mapping out step by step exactly how this system currently works. So pretty much how this system works is that when I tell Claude to go ahead and create some brand concepts for me, we can see at the top here, what will happen is that our Claude model from this chat right here will go ahead and start to think of some concepts or different design concepts for the company that I've mentioned. So for example, if I told it to create some brand concepts for Spotify, it will initially go ahead and start to just brainstorm what are 6 different concepts that we could think about relevant to Spotify that we could maybe create some logo concepts around. Once that process has happened and it's come up with some of those ideas, this will then get sent off to an image generation prompt. Once again, Claude is constructing the prompt in order to generate our logo image. And so this is going to be including the font that it's going to be using, the colors it's going to be using, the background colors, really anything and all the details that you can think of relevant to that specific logo concept. So coming back to these concepts that we generated earlier, of course, obviously these are very similar looking fonts, very similar looking logos, and Claude is just putting in the work to generate a prompt, which is going to give us that level of consistency. But of course, still having a different style of font and different style of icon and logo to go alongside it. Now, once the prompt for that specific logo concept is created, this will then get sent off to the OpenAI GPT Image 2 model. So I've done a lot of testing, getting Claude to create the logos itself using SVG elements to put together logos and even using Claude Design as well to create these logos. And whilst that certainly is a method that we can use to generate these logo concepts, I would say that the creativity that Claude has is not really a match when it comes to the OpenAI GPT Image 2 model. Claude is really thinking of it from the coding perspective and how it can code the SVG of that logo for you. And that approach, at least from my perspective, gets you relatively close to some logos that are not too bad. But using a really good image generation model like GPT Image 2, which is what I would say is probably the best image generation model out there, the results from what I've seen are just that much better. And if you're not familiar with this model, it's a pretty damn good model when it comes to image generation. You can have a look at the release here. It came out a few months back, but you can really generate anything you could really think of. And most importantly, the text being generated from this model is probably the best of all image generation models. You can just see here, all of the text in this entire screenshot image that generated is literally perfect. Which obviously when it comes down to logo generation is exactly what we're looking for. We want it to be perfect. We don't want it to have any artifacts in the logo itself messing up the text or the actual design itself. Once that generation is complete, this will then get sent off to get built into that PDF file that I created earlier with the sheet of logo concepts. At this stage, mostly Claude is doing all of the work here to take all of these images that have just been generated to then insert that into some sort of a readable document like the PDF that I showcased. Now, in order to get this set up for yourself, what I would recommend doing is going ahead and just providing it with this diagram right here. What I've done is I've published this entire project to GitHub, so you will be able to clone it from GitHub, tell your agent to clone it, and it's going to be able to install everything. Your agent will be able to read through all of that documentation, understand exactly how it all works, and then all you'll need to do is just tell it exactly what logo for the company you'd like to create. So if you do want to get access to this GitHub project of the logo concept generator, I will have it linked down below in my Skool community. And essentially, you'll either see this GitHub link or I'll just upload the folder directly into Skool. And you'll be able to access all of the code, or at least your agent is going to be able to access all of the code that's being built here. Once again, you don't have to be technical at all to understand this. You can pretty much take this folder, give it to Claude, tell it to set it up for you, and then you'll be done. And of course, the only thing that you will need to do is get an OpenAI API key, of course, in order to pay for the GPT Image 2 generation. Okay, so once you've done that, you've got the logo generator added into Claude. It will most likely create a folder on the left-hand side called Logo Concept Generator, just like this. And then we can just tell Claude to use our logo concept generator to create a series of logos for whatever company we want. Or if you're creating it for your own company, you can provide it with a website or some more details about your company, and it should be able to perfectly work with all of that. Hey Claude, can you now use our logo concept generator to create a series of logo concepts for the Claude AI company? Okay, so the logo generator has now created those concepts. We can see here it's actually ran through exactly what those concepts are about. And it told me where on my computer I could find these concepts. And you can see here it is individually generated each image of these logo concepts. So this is the first one, second, third, fourth, and the fifth design coming through here. Now let's say that we like this design of the logo and we want to choose it and we want to start to use this. OpenAI will always natively generate its images in a format like PNG. And of course, we could still use this PNG for a profile image. We could, snipping tool this icon and use that as an icon. Or we could take this image and we can scale up and size it to use it in many different use cases. But if I go ahead and scroll in on this logo, you will see that eventually the quality is not fantastic. It's obviously pixelated because it's a PNG image. If we were to scale this up, we want to use it for any kind of assets, it isn't going to be the best image. So what I would recommend doing is just taking that PNG image and then just using a tool like this. This is just an Adobe online PNG to SVG converter. We can very simply take our logo, drop that into an SVG converter. This is then going to do all the work for us. It's going to vectorize the image. Here we go. And then we just have to hit the download button. It looks like the color was stripped away from the logo. Not sure why it did that this time. But if I go ahead and open that SVG, we have now got the logo, which if I zoom in and we can see, is in much better quality than what we had from that PNG image. And once we've got that SVG image, we can now send this into any kind of image editing software. For example, this tool right here is called Vectorpea. It's just an online version of Adobe Illustrator, if you've heard of them before. Essentially, it's just a really good platform for editing vector files, which is what you would typically have a logo in. If you already have Adobe Illustrator, of course, you could just use that as well. But if we jump into Vectorpea, this is what it essentially looks like. Looks very similar to Adobe Illustrator if you have used it before. What we can do is just take that SVG file that we just downloaded, drag that into our workspace right here. And here we go. We've now got the logo populated into our workspace. And if I zoom in using this zoom tool, keep zooming in, you will see that the quality remains consistent. It is very, very good quality. There's no degrading of the quality of the logo here. So we can really use this for whatever we would like to. Of course, if you want to add the color back as well, I'm not sure why the color disappeared. It worked last time with the Spotify logo, but what we can do, of course, we can manually edit all parts of this logo now. So if you wanted to modify anything, we could, of course, do that now as well. But what we can do is just select all of these elements right here, click up into the color button, and we can just change this into whatever color we'd like. And of course, any modifications, once again, you can make. We can select all of these elements. I can move this closer to the Claude logo, add it on top as well. We can really do whatever we want. And then if you wanted to actually use this, maybe for a profile picture, what you can do is just click File at the top here, click on New. It's going to provide us with a series of different sizes to choose from. We can just click Social, and then you'll see here we could do YouTube profile pictures, YouTube covers, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as well. So we can go ahead and just click on YouTube profile. So there's like a standard profile image size. We can hit Create. This will just create a new canvas right here. Then at the top, you'll see two different tabs. We can go to the first tab, and that's where our logo is going to be. So we can go ahead and just copy all of these files. Or what you can do is just hold down Shift and click on each of these different elements. You will then have to click through each individual letter of the actual Claude text as well. We can then do Control C, jump back into our profile picture right here and do Control V. Okay, I just pasted it in and it looks like it actually spawned itself over to the right-hand side over here. What we can do is just quickly zoom out and we can select all the layers on the right-hand side. We can hold down Shift and select all of these if we click the top and then click the bottom. And then we can just simply just drag this around so we can scroll across and eventually we can bring it back to our main canvas. Scroll around and then here we go. We've now got our logo in the profile picture portrait right here. We can once again select all of these and we should be able to center it up in the middle there. So we could now go ahead and export this, go to File, go to Export As. We can export it as a PNG, a JPEG, a PDF, whatever. And of course, resizing it is very easy as well. We can select all of these layers and we can resize this however we want. There's going to be absolutely no loss of image quality. And then let's say I just wanted to use this icon. We could of course just hide all of the layers relevant to the text. Then we can just take the icon layers itself and then we can increase the size of this and we can make this as big as we want, add it into the center. And then here we go. We've now got the actual icon that we can export in full resolution and use it for however we'd like. I hope that was a helpful tutorial on how to get a good quality logo out of Claude. Once again, if you want to download my logo generator, I'll just have it in my Skool community linked down below. Otherwise, you could obviously just tell Claude to build exactly what I did and then just follow the rest of the steps. And just for my final note, I've recently discovered that around 90% of you watching right now are not subscribed to the channel at all. So if you could scroll down a little bit, hit the red subscribe button and the bell button, that would be amazing. I've got a lot more great Claude content just like this. And if you do subscribe, you will be one of the first people to see those videos.